Hello everybody, Hassan here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about some breaking news that was released yesterday as the FDA has officially approved the first trial investigating CRISPR genome editing as HIV cure for a specific private company. I want to talk about this all in this video. Before we do that, guys, you guys know the drill. Like this video, smash that like button, destroy that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. And if you have not hit that notification bell, do hit the notification bell. So basically, I've sort of been on the road yesterday and today, and probably also tomorrow in the next 2 days, really. And so sorry about this change we've seen, but hopefully this will do. So I got this news yesterday that the FDA approved the first trial investigating CRISPR genome editing as HIV cure. Right, so we know how HIV is a serious disease. It has affected many people around the world, also in North America. We've seen many lives lost. I think the whole when Magic Johnson got HIV back in the 90s, that shocked the world, that shook the world, and basically ever since then, this disease has been treated as one of those deadly diseases that people really want to find a cure for, and the current alternative methods are just not scalable. It's not available to the masses. It's not a one-time cure. Just doesn't make sense, right? And then you have this technology CRISPR that comes into play, and we've seen in research papers and application discussions where many researchers talk about the use of CRISPR to eradicate HIV, the disease. And this is exactly what we're seeing in this article, right? This company here, Excision Biotherapeutics, which we have not covered in this channel, but this is a private company. They actually just completed $60 million of financing just earlier this year. So it's a smaller company compared to the public market companies that we know of, like CRISPR Therapeutics, Antilia, Caribou Biosciences, Beam Therapeutics, and so on. But they're still relevant and they're still a private company, so you cannot invest in them unless you're, of course, accredited investors. Then you get a green light for that, which is unfair. But that's another topic for another day. Um, but anyways, basically on September 15, Excision they announced that the FDA has accepted their IND application for EBT 101 as a potential functional cure for chronic HIV. Right, so the CEO here of the company said the clearance of our IND application for EBT 101 it represents an important milestone for Excision and its result in commitments to developing a functional cure for individuals living with HIV. Right, and although antiviral treatments can manage HIV infection, they require lifelong treatment, cause side effects, and do not provide a possibility of a functional cure. We are grateful that the FDA engaged in review and acceptance of IND for EBT 101 and look forward for initiating the phase 1, phase 2 clinical trial later this year. And the therapy harnesses an AAV at a relatively low dose to deliver a one-time treatment. So, a lot of emphasis here on one-time treatment, one-time potential cure, obviously done through CRISPR. I'm not sure if this article will go that technical, but it does explain that EBT 101 uses CRISPR to cut out the HIV that's wrapped around the DNA cell. It has HIV's ability to coil itself into DNA that has made it so difficult to treat, and largely the reason why the past curative efforts have fallen flat. Right, so not that technical, but quite quite important here. Let's take a look. Their CMO here, Lisa Danzing, she said EBT 101 has demonstrated removal of proviral DNA in multiple animal models and offers an opportunity for individuals living with HIV to potentially seize long life therapies, right? So, again, very important. We talk a lot about it in this channel, guys. The real winners in any of these research studies, in any of these programs, are the patients, right? Yes, these companies will get their market size cap increased significantly. Yes, they'll get more financing. Yes, they'll be able to raise more money. Yes, they'll be made as a unicorn company like we made in 2 days ago, the video on mammal biosciences. But ultimately, the real winners are the patients. They are in dire need. There are patients that cannot survive more than 4 to 6 weeks with some of these diseases, and HIV is no different, right? These HIV is a serious disease that does take your life away, and it affects families around the world, it affects societies, communities around the world. And ultimately, scientists have always been, running towards a cure for HIV, a one-time cure that you can scale it to the masses, right? It's one thing to say you have a fancy technology, that you can sort of spend millions and millions of dollars for a specific candidate, but you can't really scale it, right? But it's another thing to say that you can sort of scale it as you increase the end sample, you can sort of scale it to a sense where it makes sense financially for communities, it makes sense financially for governments. The pandemic really changed the game, right? The pandemic really made people realize that biotech is here. We saw how the mRNA vaccine went out. We saw how the FDA really rushed to approve those vaccines. Even some of them were out before they were even approved. And there is a dire need for biosecurity, like Ginkgo Bioworks CEO that I've mentioned it a couple of times now. He's mentioned that it's no longer about being reactive. We want to be proactive, right? And I think CRISPR is here to disrupt things, guys. I think that this technology, whether that's the quote unquote first gen CRISPR or quote unquote second gen CRISPR or even quote unquote third gen CRISPR, which I'm making obviously reference to the nuclease base editors and then the prime editors. I think there is a lot of work to be done here. I think you will see a lot of these news coming up. The FDA is definitely looking into it. I love what I'm seeing here. I had a conversation yesterday, and it looks like the last FDA approval drug, the shortest time I think that it took for a a drug to be approved by the FDA was about 2 years of secure data from phase 1 data, right? And if you extrapolate that type of experience, anecdotal experience from the FDA for a specific company, then you can sort of assume that CRISPR Therapeutics for CTX001 has been going at it for almost 3 years, right? From their phase 1 data, from the moment the first patient was dosed, all the way till now, it's over 3 years, right? So to me, I think the FDA approval is near. I strongly believe FDA, the organization, is looking into it. CRISPR has grown a lot of attention in the media news. We've seen these CNBC, these legacy media covering it, although they've done a poor job covering it. Publicity is good publicity, right? So I think this is amazing. I really am looking forward for this program here from Excision Biotherapeutics. Again, it's very early. It's just getting IND file paper accepted. Does it mean that much? Not really, but it still means significantly that the FDA was able to prove it, and that now we currently will have hopefully a patient or a first patient to be cured by HIV in the EBT 101 program. And then you gotta think outside the box, guys. What will the FDA then think about CRISPR as a technology, whether that's the first, second, or third gen comparison. Where do they see this going? I think this is amazing. HIV is a serious disease. It'll catch on attention from many investors. I love what I'm seeing here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you think it's a big deal. I strongly believe it is a big deal. I just woke up and read this news and just had to do it. Again, I am on the road, so it's a little bit hard for me to make these videos with more information than this. So hopefully you guys appreciated this. It is Friday, so hopefully you guys are preparing for a great long weekend for some of you, and a great beautiful weekend. I know I will. Like I said, I'll be on the road. Be back on Sunday evening, so hopefully my next video will be around then. Maybe tomorrow if I have time. Again, in the same setting that I am in now. So we'll leave it off like this. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you like this video, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Really does help the channel. And we will see each other tomorrow, hopefully, in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.